I got surprised last night. If it is down here, I guess. No, that's it there. I got surprised last night. I got a message that Bob Greener was replicating an H effect with Paul. That kept me busy answering some questions. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate that, guys. Hi, Paul. Hi, Bob. Hi, Matthew. Matthew alerted me to it as well. It was interesting, I must say. First world's replication of the hutchison effect. I hope you got some minor effects as well on electrostatic and RF stuff. You should have. You gotta check that out, folks. So that was cool. Bob was quite excited. Paul was quite excited. Paul owns a huge shop of some kind, electrical supply. I wonder if he knows Chaos Mod electrical machinery, or this is all in Vancouver, by the way, as well as HRP Electronics and University of British Columbia surplus sales. I fully enjoyed it. I answered a lot of questions of different people that came flying in there. So let's see, what how could let's see. Okay, I used gyrotrons in the 1980s in that setup. I think the video footage would be 1989, black and white film with huge effects happening. I was the only one there in a black and white camera. Look that up. I think it's uploaded somewhere. But 1993, I think Mr. Yamabe bought from me the gyrotron and displayed it in Hiroshima City in this laboratory, along with staff reporters and TV reporters. Wow. Along with its mount, it kind of looks like a handheld cannon, ray gun cannon. So before that, I used radar systems in the original HFX stuff when it started up. Like, jeez. There's a picture of George Hathaway standing by the radar gear. But George filmed the effects as well and got good results. I used, studied Tesla and others, Benjamin Franklin, Steinmetz, Robert Golka, and many others. And what I do, I don't write notes down. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an inventor. I just visualize and create. Is the best way to describe what I'm doing, I suppose. So I read all about Tesla. I read all about others, which I did do, Benjamin Franklin. I visualize what they're doing, and then I start manufacturing this with my hands and head. When it comes to physics, me trying to do anything on paper is totally ridiculous. I don't write anything down. I hate writing. Even typing, I have to bear and do it. But anyway, but I read all the Tesla stuff. I loved his disruptive discharge transformer, which I built. Found it extremely useful. Instead of Tesla coils. Unfortunately, it was stolen by somebody when I went to Germany, but I'm going to rebuild it. I need two insulators 2 feet long. They call them lightning arrestor type insulators. Then I'll build a wooden box. Then I'll build the coils, immerse it in oil or Vaseline under heat, and use that in this setup here, which is getting more dramatic every day. At night, we are filming events that seem to exist way out of this reality. And there's a lot of weird stuff captured on film. So anyway, we're doing that at night. We'll be adding the Van de Graaff generator in there tonight. So Nancy gets copies of this stuff, analyzes it. I myself, during the day, am busy with doing repairs and arranging electronic equipment and vintage stuff only. So that keeps me busy during the day, plus my interest in vintage machinery and vintage cannons and artillery pieces and the electronics and systems, the countermeasure systems. I had a lot of fun for 5 years on warships. Everything was free. I didn't want any money. I'd already got $500,000 from people that wanted power cells, which I built for them and gave to them, and they enjoyed them, and we're still good friends. But I had a lot of money, and I did 5 years of taking apart all the artillery, all the electronics on Navy ships, which I still have some of the pieces here now. So most of the stuff like in Vancouver gets from all these different locations, like KS Model Electrical Machinery, RP Electronics, Satellite Electronics, Dave's Military Surplus, Westland Military Surplus, KS Mod, I mentioned that, and others. And machine shops I patronized was Art Metal Spinning Company on Alexander Street, maybe a 2 foot diameter electrostatic ball. I built it all. Everything was everywhere. There was a Convoy Electrical Machinery who donated huge transformers to me. Big Red, I called it. Beautiful. 90,000 volt. I had all the 3-phase converters. I used also current limiting devices like rheostats that just heat up when applying voltage to these things. Hello, one time I took off the rheostat and let the full voltage go in, in amps. Huge flash, at least several feet high. It was 400,000 volts. DC transformer, X-ray transformer. I gotta get one of those again too. Chaos Model Electrical Machinery donated to me 200,000 volt AC X-ray transformer and delivered it too. And then when Chaos Mod moved, they donated all their turn of the century stuff to me. Just gave it to me. Do you want it? Yes, of course. You'll see even some of the news stories, the actual stuff. CBC News. So you gotta organize, I guess, all these videos and put them up. I give all the videos to my good friend who I trust fully, Matthew. Easy solutions. So anyway, watching quite intently with Paul, very nice guy, and he knows his stuff. Man, love to visit his place in Vancouver. Doing the first Hutchison Effect demonstration, which is on Martin Fleischer Memorial Project's YouTube channel. Several videos actually, and with Paul, showing Paul around, Bob around. So that I had a lot of fun with over the years with different scientists and that kind of thing. There are write-ups, a lot of write-ups and reports are just scattered like, oh well, on my slide chair, John Hutchison / no slide chair / John K. Hutchison. But yeah, it's interesting stuff. I mean, I give a demonstration to many scientists and individuals and TV personalities over the years. There's the RAND, no, there was not the RAND, SAIC group wanted information because they have a unique twisted tubing system. They showed me their samples. This is way back in the early 80s, for Pete's sake, with Billy Ross. There's the Billy Ross report as well. A lot of people came, filmed, brought up their reports. I'm noticing in your setup there is missing elements like 3 electromagnets I used to focus certain things, the atomic pile and all that. So I did use uranium. And it was made in a special way. I had mine in a valve ball machine that and built around a spiral spark gap and other things like that, which I'm doing here with my machine tools. So things will be happening here in that area again, I'm sure. But we're doing these other things that seem to be interdimensional. Spooky stuff. given it's that, I had something vanish here. I don't know, wonder what, I'd love to know the history of this piece of land. The tanning lotion bottle vanished before my eyes. Only several years ago. It's like, and I started doubting my sanity. Am I going nuts? You do that. Then just recently, I was on the floor over there working on something, and I heard a little fella here, EVO, come up right behind me. I looked around and I didn't see anything. And this happened before. Even EVO here looks at things that don't exist. I've seen in this room, seeing things come out of the mirrors, which I know over there. So we're analyzing all that and doing experiments to enhance that. So it's an important area. Besides just floating stuff in the air and breaking up metal, gee. So that's what we're exploring, and we got stuff on video. This is after Matthew left. From here, we were doing all the fun stuff together. So I sit at the control panel in there and operate the Watkin and Johnson's receiver system and the audio amp television set and other receivers and spectrum analyzers and RF generators. This is stuff appearing out of the air on film, and weird voices and a TV set. But anyway, it's interesting. My favorite thing is scrapyards. There's 100 miles from here that I got a lot of good stuff from. The KZ Gonzo of eBay sent 3 pallets of stuff over here. Fair Radio Sales on Ulima, Ohio sent several pallets of stuff over here. And a few others. These are all kind of like internet people, but they in reality do well. In Fair Radio in 1994, I bought several tons of stuff. I discovered who they were, and they just recently closed up. Phil Salati sent us an email thanking us for being great customers over many years. So Surplus is a place in Los Angeles, but they say, oh, we rent to movie people. Well, that's no fun. It's a JD. For Fox TV, we use JD's, I guess, prop story now, isn't it? But I find that making big contacts with eBay sellers, and one of my favorite eBay sellers is Mr. Alec in Greece. We communicate by phone. He sends over 100-pound packages, 150-pound packages by UPS. Mr. Alec in Greece. Anybody over in Greece? Say hi to Lydia. I can't pronounce her last name. She's a lady. As well as Mr. Alec. I got his address, Scrapyard, or his eBay store in, if you want to contact Mr. Alec or visit and send some stuff over here, good. And Dr. P.T. Pappas in Greece as well, Athens, Greece, who visited me in 1993 with his wife, and we went out for dinner and we got along fine. He's written up some reports and letters. I got lots of letters from him. Wow, was it late? No, this will all be after I returned from Germany. So you must get those German reports translated in English. There's a 4-page article in Esquire magazine on what they're doing with my stuff over there years ago in 1989. But Paul's place is quite an amazing place. I'd go there, and I noticed something in the background. I was at an ARV, alien replicated vehicle. I was working with Gordon Noble on one of those years ago, and I was working with my friend Paul Mueller of RPM Machine Tool Company. And we were doing some wiring, that found the wire cable could not fit in that given space, so we sort of left it behind. Gordon Noble was moving from Louisiana to California, stayed with Helena. That's my first wife, I guess. Yeah, I know. I'm a little haughty. I'm quite sexual. But anyway, it's also I'm androgynous. That's when I discovered it myself. But Gordon and I got along fun. We enlisted the help of Paris Hilton. And she was like too busy to really do anything. I was on her show one time. It's called BFF 2008. Was it or 9? I forget. It doesn't matter. A bunch of videos of me still on the internet somewhere. Paris Hilton, BFF, and her sister, she was on my Facebook quite a bit. So a lot of Stephen Seagal was really interested in what I was doing, but unfortunately, I was at his house a number of times, and he was talking, and we know Hal Putoff, and Hal Putoff is there, his house in Mandeville Canyon Road. So it's a small world of characters. And Stephen moved here to Willits, and then moved off to Russia, I think, but I never met him here. I had a good friend, Kirk R. Thatcher, whose parents are from here, and I met him in LA and stayed at his home for a couple of weeks. He's a Star Trek producer and was the punk rocker in the Star Trek show. I love being around him. Yin and I were there. I mean, they'd go off to Hollywood land doing their work. I'd be left at the house babysitting the parrots. Cosmos and Valentino, I forget the third parrot's name, but I fully enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in those days, yeah. I'm having a lot of fun now. But I'd love to see Barbara and Paul replicate all of this stuff. It'd be cool. I want to show my friends in the DOD stuff, former DODers. Some of them are advanced procurement officer of the U.S. Pentagon people. I'll show him. He sent me an email wanting to see the Hutchison effect stuff soon, so I replied back, we're getting there slowly. And another one is who I worked with in '83. I'm not mentioning any names. I think they like to be private and don't want to be scattered around the internet too much. Timmy Ventura was sent him had a whole thing going with the Pentagon people, with Paul Murad and the DoD chief, what's his name? It was about 2005 or 6 or something like this. Apparently, according to what Timmy was saying, I got his email, published it anyway. It got a standing ovation at 200 or 400 officers and what I was doing, or somebody was doing. Rumsfeld. Donald Rumsfeld knew of my work. But, I'm offered these positions, and I just don't want a 9-to-5 thing, and to me it's pretty boring, so I turned them down, and turned down Hathaway, too, after Prince Adam offered to fund us. Well, what fun in me working for somebody else in 9-to-5, and I don't know. I have other interests besides all this other crazy stuff I'm doing. Like I like to go in the machinery area and repair antique stuff. I enjoy it. So what I enjoy. And they wouldn't probably allow me to do my Carla connection stuff. They'd probably get upset over that. I love doing my Carla connection stuff. Expressing my androgenic nature. No, I'm free floating today, talking up Blue Street. I'm into also life extension. I take it for ever since 1989, the regime of vitamins. I just did finish up a stem cell vitamin regime, getting rid of the old cells, replaced with new. And oh Jesus Christ, excuse my language, but my hair is growing back and it's black. I'm not kidding. Like, huh? I just read an article today on AOL News about stem cells, and I've copy and paste the whole thing and put it in one of my videos under smudgy face me. I did a video the other day and it looked pretty disgusting looking, but I did it. But I was up late last night leaving comments for fans. They were attending Bob's duplication of the Hutchison effect. I met Bob some years ago, actually here. Came over and we had fun, and then a couple of years ago too. It's about 2 years ago. It's hard to believe all that time passed. Mr. Evil then was a little puppy. I met my lady in. A lot of emotions there, so. I just thought of Helena again. She passed away and I don't know what from. In 2007, I was with her, got married, and stayed at her home for a while. She started to try to change me, and I left the place. I just went to PXS Airport, got a plane back to Vancouver, and then, of course, I ran into the mayor and started up the equipment again. And the effects are too dramatic, and as seen in some of the footage, continuous effect is moving stuff around. Plastic containers and heavy pieces of stuff. That created a huge issue with New Westminster, the mayor there, and Wright, Fire Marshal, RCMP, they ordered me to shut it all down and do something. Which I did do. Then I met Nancy and took off to Germany. Not Germany, but the USA. I did some minor tests and experimental stuff in the Gulf of Mexico. I knew what to do. I didn't believe it true, but scientists did tests like the Navy Department, John Shelburne, and atomic physicist, and God, I forget that. But so I uploaded all the SlideShare. The actual documents, before and after tests with oil contamination. And then I met up with actor, Balloon Boy for short, Richard Heaney, and his family stayed with us for a while, and Koryanka Kilcher, who played in the movie, I forget the movies, but she stayed with us too. And her total family, and Zai and Husky Dog and Bob, Allen, and many. That was quite an adventure. Then we had to move back to Minnesota and set up anti-shielding against the atomic mess. And all those extra particles from Fukushima, and that worked out. And it does work out if you study up on VLF radio. VLF Navy radios keep cosmic rays at bay. Check that out. VLF, Cosmic Rays, Navy. Write up an article on it. That's what I decided to do with the giant 25-foot long ray gun, which is in a shed. I guess Bob's seen that. Probably took pictures of it. Oh yeah, I did take pictures when it was in the trailer. Okay, got it. So you can just bring those out, Bob. Show it off. Oh. Physics. Unsung heroes like Ken Shoulders, Henry Dakin, Dr. Elizabeth Ann Rocher, William Tiller, Dr. Roll, Freiberg, and many hundreds I met over the years. I had to say at least 100. I had to write it all on a paper how many I met and where they are now. And most of them passed away for some reason. Dr. L.A. Kuhn of DTIC, not DTIC, but the other one, Canadian version of that. Oh, Dr. Wilson, Dr. Loken, Bob Freeberg, Los Alamos and his team, and NASA and his team, and then Joan Alexander and his team. It was a good time. I'm meeting new kids on the block these days. I got Bob Greener and now Paul and Matthew. I consider Matthew a scientist. Alien scientist, maybe. I don't know. Wow, time moves on. So I think. I think time can be slowed down or altered backwards or forwards, of course. Yeah, how long have I been doing this? Hopefully it turned on. Made a mistake of doing videos where it wasn't turned on. How long is this going on for? Oh, 25 minutes. That's okay. Not too bad. I'd also like to thank the supporters. Mr. Hiroshi Amabe, scientist of the Hiroshima lab. A duplication of my lab in Hiroshima City. Whatever happened to that, I don't know. But it's on video anyway, which Matthew has and will probably upload it all. Hiroshima, Mr. Hino, staff reporter, JLTV in Hiroshima City, and Mr. Yakimawa. Many Japanese folks. They even wrote a book on me, and Tama Publishing Company, and the lady from the UN who visited us in Japan. I don't want names, I forget. There's so many people I met, but they're really good people. You know, I don't consider myself an inventor or scientist or some famous idiot. Just basically, how do I describe myself? An androgenic, over-glorified scrap collector, basically what I am. I have no degrees. I never went to school. I never went to kindergarten. I just studied in my parents' house and did my own things all the time. I don't own a car. I don't own a phone. I have no interest in that world of man and getting married and having hobbits. No, not my interest. Well, I don't mind highfalutin hot sex, of course. Wink, wink. Johnny Hobbit's a sex bomb. I get requests for certain videos that show off certain. Never mind. I have an Australian friend who's loves watching these videos and Bob's videos. A lot of internet friends who I never met yet. I get along fine with one of the biggest scrapyards in the world down in Petaluma. I get along with that group pretty nice. I got a lot of good supplies from them. Got some beautiful 3-phase capacitors rated for 20,000 volts or 50,000 volts. So. Who else? There's people I'm forgetting. I know. I'm such an idiot for forgetting certain unsung heroes, but Alex Pizarro, Mel Winfield. Mel Winfield was the first one to film everything. I wrote a book. Now, Mel was filming stuff floating around. He could do video? Not too. It was at that time Super 8mm film. He has that somewhere. And pictures. He claimed all that stuff was his, which it wasn't. And Alex Pizarro found out and told George Hathaway. And really ticked off George Hathaway, who wrote him out of the first international symposium on new energy. I didn't care when, you could go claim it all his, but prove it, If you started coming down and taking stuff out, I would call the police department, but my first encounter, I guess, with scientists. I always remember them both coming, Alex Pizarro and Mel Winfield, to my parents' house in North Vancouver, 30455 Revenue Drive, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, talking to Billy and I. Billy was a transgender who I stayed with for a number of years until I met Yin and moved off with Yin and all that. And I'm just going to be totally honest. That's why I kept... Be totally honest, with your supporters. other friends and people because it doesn't pay to lie or cheat. So off I went. See, I'm traveling all around my head. But anyway, Alex Pizarro and his group did stuff presented to the U.S. government. Ronald Reagan. Somebody wanted to tell Ronald Reagan or something. I wasn't there, but they came and filmed everything, set me up in a lab, funded me, and did all this and that, and captured stuff for Los Alamos and John Alexander and many others there, and working together as a team. That was kind of fun. But I had a place to go to at night and had my own place and stuff I could do too. See how we wander around free association. Some of my experiments were held in Riverview Hospital, the mental institution, West Lawn building, where I burned my eyes out with some plasma effects and free energy stuff and walked around with a free energy radio. Dr. Schlichter, Dr. Alice Kramer. My treatment later on was simply I was giving demonstrations of relaxation exercises taught to me by a psychologist to the people that were looking into me. They didn't want to give me any medication, but I requested Xanax or Valium. Still on that stuff to this day. I was I had a lot of fun at Riverview. I had a lot of girlfriends and other friends. A long story. I'm not saying major. Anyway, I had a gun collection under the bed and radio equipment by my bed in the 50-bed room. Dr. Schlichter said we should hide the gun somewhere else. Oh, okay, which we did do in the dispensary. This is all on some record somewhere. Oh, my mother was used in the Hollywood Hospital experiment, Dr. McLean, McDonald, LSD treatment stuff. So I'm just wondering, I'm free associating some stuff here and I keep talking, okay. That was in the 60s. And let's see, okay, moving on to Riverview. So I left Riverview, went to 5 East Hastings Street, downtown Vancouver. I bought a .303 rifle for only $20. I'm walking around with it, wrapped up in newspaper. And nobody cared no day. Everything was normal in mine, but nowadays everybody's paranoid and mentally ill. A good portion of people are. Anyway, that is the Drexel ruins. I talk about that. The hangar inspector, that goes into sexual stuff, so I won't talk about that now, but anyway. Story of my life. How much coffee did I have in the morning? A good cup of it. I guess that's why I'm talking so much. I haven't taken my vitamins yet, but I'll do that in the afternoon. I got some things I gotta do here. Machine certain parts for electronic equipment. I make my own parts too. That guy, somebody called Glassinger on YouTube that makes vacuum tubes from beginning to start. So there's a lot of brilliant YouTube people out there that are doing interesting things. I wish I could learn more about all that too, The learning process never ends, right? I'm learning something every day. Mr. Ezio was on the floor resting, so. As I moved on, of course, I moved to Mrs. Murphy's 1458 East 29th Street, Lynn Valley, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And started collecting guns and machine guns. And then got into doing electrical stuff. Studied Tesla, Steinmetz, and many others. Rutherford, Ben Franklin, beautiful article on Ben Franklin in the National Geographic magazines. I had to my thing, Psychology Today books. I had Scientific American. I learned about the gravitometers and how to build gravitometers, all kinds of cool stuff, physics. Beautiful magazine in those days in the 70s. I lived there since. So I got a Happy Acres, moved from Drexel Rooms to Mrs. Murphy's 1970, and had those 11 years of studying a lot of stuff. And moved out And the supervision of my lawyer, R. Flynnmar, who's still around, who's going to visit someday as well. U.S. government folks funded my move to, was it 142, 144 Riverside Drive, North Vancouver, the old Panoramic Studios building. I did nice stuff. Convoy electrical machinery donated 2 heavy transformers, and we got off for several months and did a lot of weird and wonderful stuff, and moved out of there and moved to 3744 East Hastings Street, Burnaby, British Columbia, and I really built up the lab stuff. Met Thomas Lee Richardson, who was Tesla's good friend. And Thomas Lee wrote a book on Tesla and his achievements. Thomas Lee Richardson helped me out a bit with information in his books and medallions and stuff like that. He would come to the lab, and so this reminds me of Tesla's laboratory, and that was the good old days with Stan Rejkck. Stan was chauffeur. Stan at now working at Amex Salvation. And there's Bill McDonald, and there was others. There was contractors to the U.S. military that come visiting me, courtesy of Brian Bardale, who owned executive limousine service and drive these folks around. I met Congressman Berkeley Bedell, who came to my place with his wife Eleanor, and we go out for dinner and lunch. I got all the he's that wrote me mail letters. Then I met Dennis Kucinich. I think 2006. He likes my craziness. I gave him a pile of metal samples. But he gave me an address, and make sure you put it on for Dennis Kucinich, because the state terrorists, what do they call it? Secret Service. So I always check mail at the Capitol. But that's the last I heard from Dennis. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll just a message. Prince has Adam Richardson, and I gave him a sample of a split bar of brass that he keeps in his private art collection. I wish I met him in person. Anyway, I'm sure these people are quite busy. I'm gonna get a cigarette, you don't mind, do you? I could get lipstick on. I wanted somebody to make me up looking really sexy, get my mini on, and really screw up stuff right above it. Doesn't matter to me. That's all. I understand psychology and why people react to certain situations. So I'm gonna get up. Hey, smoke. Oh wow, I've been sitting a long time. Ooh, my legs fell asleep. Oh dear, if I fall on the floor. Oh well. Okay, to move in here, get a cigarette. Okay, hold on, move in here. Oh, my legs fell asleep. Oh well. How's this in the factory spot? Oh, okay. Don't do that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what's going on, huh? That's feels kind of weird with all these sleek legs. I don't know. Let's hopefully there's a recording. Okay. It's all recording, it says so. You never know with an iPad. Not writing to go. That's a nice yawn. So, I shall label John Hutchison response to Bob Greener. Oh, you met Ian too, didn't you, EBO? I don't remember. Maybe you do. Yeah, there he is. See? I love animals. We got EVO. We got the ravens. In Vancouver, I had crows and bears and raccoons and skunks and cats. Oh well, on I go talking a blue streak with, okay. But anyway, I don't mind helping fans out. Some people, oh, John is doing tricks, it's all, yeah. They're just ignorant. They haven't studied anything. Evidence and reports and stuff. They're just ignorant. Are kind of bitchy people, You're going out there, Evia? I guess he is. So, that's smoking, I don't know. I take niacin, all the niacinamide series is niacin. I wish I had a mini skirt on talking like this, my tight little top. Yeah, you go. So anyway, TV shows are really cool. They paid big money. I did for Beyond Productions and Fox TV, NBC TV, and many others. They pay anywhere up to $1,000. Peter von Puckhammer was my agent. I don't know what he is now, if he's still around either too. I don't know. But he sold footage. Sold one day $40,000 in footage. $150 per second. I got half of that and about 40,000. And what I do with the money is buy equipment on eBay. The only place, virtual scrapyard, but it comes into reality a week or so later. Okay? You gotta spend hours on eBay and search. I got a lot of offers. Some EVO, you farted, didn't you? Whew. That's a hell of a stinker, EVO. Jeez. Yeah, what are you doing? Hey, where's Matthew? What? What do you want? I just sit up in the chair. Let's work comfortably, you little nut. No. See, that's EVO. Named after Ken Shoulder's discovery of EVOs. Kind of look like Ken too. Hi Ken, if you're out there somewhere in another dimension, let us know. I think there is another dimension happening here because from what I experienced and what's recorded already, I don't know. But it's interesting what's going on. No, EVO. Go get your ball. You love playing balls. Now, where was I? Wandering around. What advice can I give the group and fans? I have to give you good advice. Study Benjamin Franklin, Tesla, Dr. Elizabeth Ann Rocher's publications. Ken Shoulders, of course. Very deeply study him and what's published now. Unsung Heroes, Dr. Peter Koschenig. I was a guest at his home for 2 years in Austria. He published a lot of stuff that's buried and gone and forgotten about. There's a lot of scientists that just go nutty and die off. And their publications are just thrown in the garbage can. There was Lawrence St. Ives, who was after Tesla's papers. His great aunt worked with Tesla. And there was an auction when his aunt died and the papers were auctioned off. He was in search of that. That was 1983. He contacted me by phone and letters. There's Thomas Lee Richardson. All his papers went to the UK. Who else? Yeah, Thomas Lee Richardson. A lot of material just thrown out. I've seen it too, other people's. It just passed away, the wife gets rid of it all, kind of thing, so. Thomas's collection was immense. I don't know what Lawrence St. Ives' great aunt was, but he was determined to find that. But that's 83, he's probably long gone. San Francisco area, too. Others that encountered Tesla stuff was Adnac Salvage on Alexander Street in Vancouver, and that was the Gaddison family. Gaddison. And Freddie Putt, his name was, had this old house on Alexander Street with a scrapyard with Tesla artifacts. And I did get one too. And that got stolen as well. It's shown in the first public demonstration with BCTV, Ellen Edwards, which is I uploaded on the internet. A rotary device. Exactly the same written up in Tesla's patents. Check it out. But for others, Steiny Steinmetz. What? You want to go outside? Anyway, this is the fans that are trying to figure out what I was doing. Colorado Spring Notice by Tesla. You gotta get back in that time with your mind and create stuff with the vintage stuff. What? You wanna go outside? EVO's trying to get a few words in here. You wanna tell the audience about Matthew? Is he out of his room or what? I think he wants to go outside, so I'm let him outside. I shall return, said MacArthur. Okay. You wanna go outside? Okay. Okay, I'm going this way. You can go outside. Yep, here we go. Alright, baby, out of that. You wanna go outside. Okay. We'll see who's out there. It's raining out, so you be good. There you go. I think he wanted to go outside, so we'll see. Anyway, study Bob Greener. Other replicators in this area is Tesla cult. Study his work. Who else is doing stuff? Somebody new. Griffin, is it? Or Griffin's Brock or something like that. Anyway. So, as I said, a lot of stuff gets thrown out in the garbage. I'm sure Tesla's paid a lot of Tesla stuff gets thrown out. As I mentioned, Peter Kokoschek stuff was very incredible. Who would have that? I guess Dr. Margarita would have all that stuff, or she threw it all out. I don't know. So a lot of stuff gets tossed out. For other information, go to dtic.gov.mil. Dr. Freiberg, Thomas E. Bearden is published there, and others are as well. It's open to the public. They have open to the public and classified stuff. I was on their program 83 to 2005, so I got to see the other stuff. Los Alamos experiments in antimatter and all that stuff. Just tons and tons of stuff that I have read. CIA folks are very helpful in supplying me with information on UFOs, UAPs, and all that stuff. I have 4 pages left from 1,000 that I felt was important. There was analysis of UFO crash material, and I have those 4 papers. Plus, my worker was John M. Wright of CIA, privacy coordinator. It's very helpful and all that. I had to get my passport notarized and all that. My privacy coordinator with DTIC was Richard Sparks with a serial number and all that, but Dr. Bud Durand, plus a bunch of others that helped me out quite a bit and all that stuff. still got some of their publications because this stuff gets, and I throwing out stuff too, as CIA papers. Just kept the important stuff. I don't want with DTIC stuff. Hutchison effect was evaluated by Phillips Laboratory, so I'm told in the letter, and a few others. I have all those letters and all that stuff. So I think Evio is barking at something out there, but how long have I been yakking for? But anyway, I really appreciate Bob and Paul doing their project. It's been 50 minutes. Wow, okay. Let me do some smiles. Okay. I look better today than the other day. They called my first video the other day smudgy face, and I look like an idiot. Didn't look that good. I wasn't feeling that well. Okay, but anyway. Anybody else want to know that you folks should study on? Well, let's see. Definitely math easy solutions for his information is pretty incredible. On 9/11, on mathematics, on many topics, he was here, and I've really enjoyed working with him. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, we did. So, he's a lot of fun to be around. So, my former partner, Alexander Sharashevsky, he's kind of sleepyhead, but very brilliant, has experience with me, and buildings vanishing, metals falling around. Our other partner, George Lissicase, had a transformer fall on him, and I would say that's about 1,000 pounds or 1,500 pounds. I put him in the hospital for 3 months when I was in Germany. I don't know what was going on here while I was in Germany, but something was. Now, George was very authoritarian, very nasty kind of guy, and Alexander Sharashevsky and I got along fine, but George, no. Didn't get along fine. He created an explosion in that laboratory, 13th Street in Kingsway. He wired one of those big capacitors in reverse, and that thing blew up with a massive explosion. But Alec has, I think, still some metal samples. Whatever happened to George Liska, well, he died recently, so I guess whatever he had was thrown out as well. But, if you're a scientist, make sure that your stuff doesn't get thrown out, at least dedicate to somebody who's interested in it. So, other things fans can study while study my stuff. That's pretty weird. I am weird and I love it. Come on, give me a break. Okay, so other information. Study NASA's Mark Mills challenge to create the warp drive. I had NASA contact me a lot, and those letters will be uploaded, I'm sure. I hope so. It seems to be an interesting group of young generation that want information, as well as, thanks to Matthew, some of that will be available. But unfortunately, a lot of the stuff is gone from others I know, like Thomas Lee Richardson, as well as the Gaddison family and others. Dr. Peter Kokoschnik, all that stuff is probably thrown out. He had a part written in Vienna full of documents and papers. Maybe again can get some of that for Bob Greener. I don't know. Just firing off thoughts in the air here, so. And Nancy has her own system of analysis and experimental stuff, which is proving up pretty good. That's what we record in the main room at night. I upload bits and pieces, but I'll leave it to Nancy to upload if you want to. Her stuff, she gets it all in the computer, analyzes it, and contacts AI suggestion groups about it. So, well, hopefully I can get more equipment somehow. Powerful Vandycraft generator. This one here is a little demonstration unit, tiny. As well as other vintage Navy and military equipment. I get money from the Canada government to my bank account in Minnesota. And I buy usually a couple of units per month, and others some add to them. And maybe I should put out the info. I could rebuild one of those power units with the barium titanate cylinder. It's got 100,000. I used to get paid very well, like 250,000 per unit from Japan and from Germany. A famous family in Germany. At least 250,000. And then Japan, and then Richard Boer from England, then the Rea Trade Business Group. Carl David Anderson and his group is President Joe Ho. I don't know if that's even still around. Gave me a lot of money. And I sold all my metal samples on eBay and got a fair amount of money for all that stuff over the years. A box, maybe 100-pound box of sample. I threw all in, made a deal with somebody in Scotland, and he got me all these Canon parts from UK to me, bargain scrap price. Then another fellow in California bought a box full, and somebody else bought a box full. I sold a lot of samples, hundreds of them. All of them. Last being a gift to my doctor, Dr. Boylan, and to my dentist. Gifts. I gifted samples to Steven Seagal and to many others too. It's a huge amount of metal went out of here over the years. So anyway, I'm going to see what time it is because I'm going on and on and on. I'll make it an hour. It's 57 minutes, so we'll make it an hour-long video. So what are you guys going to do? You got to try and repeat the experiment again, Bob, Matthew, others out there. Follow my advice. Listen, ask questions. Always ask questions. Try and steer you in the right direction. As I said before, I don't keep notes. I don't publish anything, I just do it. I'm not good at mathematics at all, really. I just visualize what has to be done and I do it physically. That's all. I call it my shortcut. So I see something, I see what I could do with that. Or I visualize something and then start thinking in my brain where to get it. Oh, let's check eBay. Oh, let's check scrapyards. So that's how I do it. I don't write it on down, I just do it. I don't like writing stuff. I hate papers, I hate numbers, can't add properly anyway. My mathematics is horrific. Almost baby stuff. But, oh well. I like doing stuff in reality, so. Sources, eBay and scrapyards. In Vancouver, it was endless. Warships, 4 of them. 5 years, parts and pieces, no problem. And all the surplus stores in Vancouver. Reasonable price stuff and giveaways and donations of material. Oh, on that note, I should shut up and get another cigarette and get to work on something I got to do today, and that's repair a rack handle, a simple rack handle. Which I make. I couldn't find it on eBay. There's one, but point to point on the screw inputs, 6 inches, perfect. But it was, I don't know if it was aluminum or plastic. So I'll take a look. Now go in the machinery area and look for a piece of metal. Half inch. Over half inch will do. I'll take that cut of size, machine it on a laser real quick, and use a couple of standoffs. And make it, yeah. 3/8 of an inch. Perfect. Gets that mounted on that poor thing that arrived yesterday with no rack out. I'm expecting another shipment in too. An analyzer, vintage, and also vintage selective voltmeter, working condition. It should be arriving pretty soon as well. So it's a never-ending adventure, so I'll quickly show off my sitting station for now. Oh, it's crashing into stuff, so. So that's where I sit. I can adjust all the different items. I sit here and at night and work with stuff. I use this for a quick tester. Let's see. Affect the iPad at all? No, nothing. Batteries are getting tired. Oh, they are really tired. I don't hear any. Okay, let's get new batteries. Let's rate this guy. Notorious for picking up unusual energy. TV set, black and white. Watkin & Johnson's. Oh, it was, who owned this before was the FC Federal Communications Commission. They have it in their van driving around checking for illegal uses. Phase shifting device here and other pieces. I used all of this here. Amplifier, audio amp speakers. Then I walk over here and adjust. Ouch. Adjust these pieces. This one. Where are we here? This is from the University of British Columbia. Special spectrum analyzer along with this one. And over here, a magnet on the floor. It's series with long wire antenna and short wire antenna. Other than that, there's a lot more I could be using, but I'm gonna go overboard. Gotta get all the high voltage stuff running. Oh, Nancy put all that there. That'll go away. I can put in high voltage sometime, another piece. I got all these to get organized as well coming in, which are over here. All these beautiful, heavy duty military stuff like this. Radar unit. Old Scott radios. All stuff is fine. I get offers too. If I look at something, the sellers give me an offer like half price, quarter price sometimes, because the stuff doesn't sell. They put it on eBay just for years there. I have a friend back east who's into this stuff as well, so he and I are probably the only buyers, maybe somebody else. So it sits there for actually years until I inquire and then get an offer. So I gotta go. Where am I? This way? Or this way? So keep safe, guys, girls, others. Thank you.